Updates from the campaign trail 2024. What is happening right now? Well, I'll tell you that there's a sense of disorganization and disarray in the Democrat Party. There are many people who don't see why they can't just replace Biden. And then there are other people who understand that replacing him this late in the game is disastrous for their get out the vote efforts and for the cohesiveness that they need going into a contest against Donald Trump, who literally just took a couple of weeks off to golf and gather himself. And now they're saying he's hiding and he's not out there. Meanwhile, he just had a rally, his first one in, I think, 12 days. And of course, it was a packed house. It was at Trump Doral or Trump Doral, depending on what part of Florida you're from. And there were literally thousands of people there. It was a ripping good time. He was up on the stage and kind of enjoying himself in rare form because some of the cases that have been lodged against him are really, they're also in disarray. Like there's a lot of nonsense going on around President Trump, and he's been weathering it. And I think he just took some time to take stock and enjoy his family. And it was nice to see for him because he's just been nonstop this whole time, which is, again, another example of what the presidency requires and how President Biden is unable to do that. And I'll just say for myself, this is for the good of the order. God bless him. I feel terrible for President Biden on occasion. I don't feel that way all the time because he's destroying this country. But there is a part of me that really wonders why Jill Biden doesn't love him enough to take him off of this horrible merry-go-round and allow him to live out the remainder of his years in peace. They're rich. They're multimillionaires. They don't need anything. They don't need the presidency. But I guess having that kind of power, having access to the inner corridors of our nation's highest and most elite areas is something she's not willing to give up if she can have it for 4 more years. And so she's going to continue to flog her husband into oblivion to get it. Now, turning to the polls, which is one of the reasons why you see the Democrats in such array and why they're so upset. For fun, go to X and watch Jon Stewart. He is losing his stuffing every night on his show, yelling and just kirking out because he just wants to get rid of Biden and have a younger candidate. He thinks they're going to lose. And it's funny to watch because he's funny, period. But him upset like this, I've never seen anything like it. It's just unbelievable. But I want you to watch our very own Charlie Kirk on his program. He had pollster Rich Barris, and they were talking about undecideds and the impact of their down ballot votes. Take a look.
Yeah, I think we're getting there now. Republicans have been trailing Trump not only in his margin over Biden. So what do I mean? If Trump has a 3-point lead on Biden, Republicans have, even if they're ahead, have a smaller lead. But often, and for most of the year, we had Trump ahead, but Republicans down. This is now the second month in a row where we have Republicans up. They're still lower on vote share than he is. They're trailing by about 4.5 points. Trump's vote share is higher, but it is now getting to the point where it is going to hurt down ballot. We don't live in the 1980 or 84 electorate anymore, Charlie, where Reagan could take 20% of the Democratic vote at the presidential level and romp Jimmy Carter, but yet Democrats maintain down ballot. We're a much more partisan country. So, and by the way, what I think their worst nightmare is that the people I started to talk about in the beginning of this segment, they do come out and vote. And this vote is overwhelmingly for Trump. They don't know that much about down ballot politics, and a group like this may not be huge, but it's significant. And if they come in and they're voting for Trump to vote for Trump and they just check the box for the next R down ballot, that could wipe Democrats out. So, we have this thing now about a 2-3 point lead for Republicans nationally at the in the generic ballot. There's a lot of undecideds. When those people decide, it could be a 20-25 seat hit for Democrats. That's fair.
Oh, I'm sorry. Am I giggling and laughing in my mean Mama Stacy voice? I can't help myself. Down ballot could drag Congress 25 seats to the good. We need it because we got a lot of rhinos on the right. We have a lot of people on the right-hand side of the political aisle who literally are there for their own enrichment. They're there for power. They're there for access. They're there so they can wear fancy clothes in DC, so that they can be important. They're there so that they can have a congressional lapel pin and the Capitol Police protecting them. And for the first time in their lives, they feel super important. those people shouldn't be in Congress either. Like the anti Semites shouldn't be there. They shouldn't be there. We need to work harder on cleaning those members out of our processes. But until then, if this pollster, Rich Barris, my new best friend, hey Rich, how you doing? I'm so glad to hear him talk about the realities that we are not in a Reagan America. As sad as that is, we were much more unified during the Reagan years as a country. The polarization that we currently experience had not yet set in fully. But we are where we are, and if this takes 25 congressional seats to the good for the Republicans, that's a part of my I'm putting it in my prayer journal. Absolutely. Yes, Lord, please bring that on. We could use that as Americans right now. We need better policy. That's the program for today. You know, we have so much more for you. If you go over to salemnewschannel.com, you can watch all of our fantastic talent, so many programs, so much great news and information for you. And you can find me at stacyontheright.com. See you tomorrow.